Have you ever wondered why some people radiate a light, a peace, a joy that feels unshakable, even when life around them is full of hardship and storms? In a quiet corner of Tuscany, I met a woman who seemed to carry that secret inside her. She was not a philosopher, not a celebrity, not someone the world would call powerful. She was simply a grandmother, bent with age, her hands weathered from years of kneading dough, her eyes softened by decades of seeing joy and sorrow alike. Yet when she smiled, it felt like time stopped. Her name was Lucia, and she was nearly 90 years old. Lucia lived in a stone house at the edge of a vineyard. The walls were rough with age, the roof lined with terracotta tiles that had seen more summers than most people ever will. Her doorway was framed with flowers, little pots of basil and rosemary, scents of garlic and olive oil drifting out of her kitchen. But it wasn't the food or the view of golden hills rolling endlessly into the horizon that struck me most. It was the way she spoke, the way she carried herself, as though she had unlocked a kind of happiness that no riches could buy. I asked her once, "Nonna, what is the secret to your happiness?" She chuckled softly, her shoulders lifting, her lips forming a smile that seemed to hide stories too deep for words. Then she began to share. She told me happiness is not something you chase. If you chase it, it runs away. Happiness is something you invite, like an old friend, and then you keep it close by, treating it gently. She leaned in and whispered as if she were telling me a family recipe. Life is like making pasta. Too much salt and you ruin it. Too little and it has no taste. The secret is balance. Balance in love, balance in work, balance in rest. Lucia's life had not been easy. She had lived through war, through famine, through the loss of people she loved. She remembered bombs falling when she was just a child, the silence afterward, the hunger that gnawed at every belly in her village. She remembered losing her husband too soon, raising her children with hands that ached but never stopped working. She remembered nights when she had nothing but bread crusts to feed her family, and mornings when she sang just to keep her children smiling. And yet, she said, those were the times that taught her the most. "Do you want to know why I am happy?" she asked me. Her eyes glistened in the dim afternoon light. "Because I never forgot to be grateful. Every loaf of bread, every glass of wine, every sunrise, even after the darkest nights, gratitude makes you rich in ways money never will." I sat there, watching her as she stirred a pot of tomato sauce on the stove. Her wrinkled hands moved slowly, carefully, almost ritually, as if each motion carried meaning. She explained that food itself was part of happiness. To feed people, to share your table, to gather with family and neighbors, that was the soul of joy. She said happiness hides inside simple rituals. Sipping coffee slowly in the morning, planting a seed and waiting for it to grow, telling stories by firelight. Her voice grew quiet as she added, "The young think happiness is out there, somewhere far away, in the cities, in the money, in the fame, but happiness is not found. It is made. Here, in the everyday things, you must learn to taste life, not just swallow it." I asked her what kept her going through all the hard times, the losses that could have broken anyone else. She told me it was love. Not the dramatic kind, not the love that appears in novels or films, but the small acts of love repeated day after day. A kiss on the forehead, a smile to a stranger, a loaf of bread given to a hungry neighbor. She called them little loves. 1,000 little loves keep the heart alive. Then she leaned back in her chair, gazing out the window at the vineyard. The sun was setting, painting the vineyard in gold. She said, "Do you see this light? It comes every evening, no matter how hard the day has been. Happiness is like this light. Even in sorrow, it waits for you, but you must open your eyes to see it." Her words carried weight, but not the heavy kind, more like the gentle weight of a blanket that comforts you. She was teaching me that happiness is not an escape from suffering. It is the ability to carry joy alongside the pain. It is not about avoiding storms, but learning how to dance in the rain. Lucia's secret was not hidden in books or theories. It was in her garden, where she knelt to water tomatoes. It was in her kitchen, where she sang old Italian songs while chopping garlic.
It was in her laughter, the kind that started low and rolled out into the air like music. It was in the way she kissed her grandchildren's cheeks, as though each kiss was a prayer. Before I left her home, she pressed a small loaf of bread warm into my hands. "Remember," she said, "life is not about waiting for happiness to arrive. Life is about baking, kneading, and sharing it. That is the secret." That night, as I walked through the Tuscan hills, her words echoed in my mind. How many of us chase things that never fill us, money, possessions, endless entertainment, while forgetting the simple wisdom of an old grandmother who lived through more pain and joy than we can imagine? Perhaps her secret is not just her own. Perhaps it's Europe's secret, humanity's secret, the truth that endures, no matter how fast the world spins. Happiness is not somewhere else. It is here, in the soil, in the bread, in the laughter, in the gratitude. The question is not whether happiness exists. The question is, are we willing to slow down enough to taste it?